So in this video, I'll be explaining to you and I'll take you step by steps on how to actually file your SCUML and get your SCUML certificate. Now, SCUML is actually a special control unit against money laundering in Nigeria. So it's a branch, or rather it's a unit under EFCC. And the major reason why it was established is to prevent people from being involved in money laundering in Nigeria. So that's just the major reason. So getting the certificate, by the time you open the account and fill the information, your details enters the EFCC portal, and then your account will be monitored by EFCC, so that if they discover that someone is involved in terrorism or financing terrorism or is involved in money laundering, they invite the person for investigation. So the major duty of SCUML is to make sure that they prevent terrorism and against money laundering, and so they monitor account. And majorly, the institutions that must register under SCUML are majorly companies, NGOs, organizations. NGOs can also be called non-profit organizations. So once the process where you need, the stage where you need to apply for SCUML is actually when you want to open a bank account. Every bank in Nigeria will tell you that before they open an account for your NGO, you must provide them with a certificate from the unit before they give you the opportunity to open an account in the name of the NGO, because it is a regulation and it also backed by the constitution. So it is a body of EFCC that controls and monitors money laundering in Nigeria. So I'll be taking you step by step on how to register and fill your information. But before then, I'll be telling you some of the things that you need if you want to open an account and get your certificate. Majorly to get your certificate, because by the time you register it, you get your certificate for yourself. And I'll also be explaining to you how you can get your certificate. So if you want to open an account for your company or for your business, you have to provide your certificate of incorporation or registration, and you also have collected all this information from your lawyer who helped you to register your company or your business. So you get your certificate of incorporation or registration if it is a business name. Then you get your memorandum and article of association. Then you get your certified true copy, they call it CTC, certified true copy of directors and secretary details. Those are part of the document that are always given by CAC by the time your registration has been concluded. Then you get your status report. Then of course you get your tax identification number. Your tax identification number is not gotten from CAC, actually. It's gotten from Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, Federal Inland Revenue Service. So that's where you get your tax identification number. So if you want me to make a video on how to apply for your tax identification number and get it, kindly comment on the comment below and I'll make a video on how to apply for your tax identification number. So if you once you get your tax identification number, all the documents are completed for those that have a company or a business. But for those that maybe they have an NGO, they have to provide, first of all, their constitution. Then they have to provide a certificate of incorporation. Then they have to provide CTC of the trustees, just like I said, certified true copy, CTC of the trustees and the chairman. Then they have to provide tax identification number. The procedure of getting your tax identification number for an NGO is actually different from the procedure that applies to companies or business name. For companies or business names, it's different. For example, if you stay in Abuja, you have to go to an office designated to give your tax identification number if you want to apply a tax identification number for NGO. So that's just the process of getting them. So you need to get all the information ready, and then you are supposed to scan all the documents and put them in a PDF. They must all be in a single document and must not be more than 2 MB. Actually, if it's more than 2 MB, the system will not accept it because you are going to submit everything inside their particular system. So you must scan all the documents and put it in a single document and convert it into PDF. Now if you don't necessarily know how to convert a file to PDF, all you need to do is go on Google and type convert file to PDF, and then you click on enter, and then you see a lot of free softwares that can help you to convert. All you need to do is click on the first one that shows here, because this one has about 4.5 rating, and then let's say you click on this choose file, and when you click on this choose file, it goes to the document. You take it to the document you want it to convert to PDF, and once you take it to the document, it converts it for you, and once you convert it for you, you'll be able to download the document and upload it on the website I'm going to show you. Now if you discover that your document is more than 2 MB, all you need to do is type reduce size of PDF. That's after you might have scanned all your documents and you have converted them all into a PDF, and maybe the size is probably 3 MB. All you need to do is type reduce size of PDF, and then you will click on also the first something here, and then you would look for the file and click on the file, and you'll be able to you'll be able to reduce the size of your PDF. Likewise, it could PDF, it could be JPEG, or any form of document that you want to reduce the file. But make sure that the file is in PDF. It must not be in JPEG if you are registering for SCUML, that is Special Control Unit Against Money Laundering in Nigeria. So once you have done all those and your file is in one document and is no more than 2 MB. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and also hit on the notification button so that anytime I release videos like this, you'll be the first to see it. Then all you need to do is type www.scuml.org/registration, then the ending slash, then click on enter. Once you click on enter, it takes you to the NGO under SCUML. I'll put the link of the website on the tag below so that you could just click on it immediately and register. And then I'll also put the link of where you can reduce the size of your PDF and also convert to PDF in the subscription below. Now, while you have gotten all those documents, this is the site where you are going to fill your information. So the first thing you are supposed to do here is, if you are registering for an NGO or you are registering for a business or a company, then you put the name of the institution you want to register here. So let's assume you want to register Dangote or Dangote. You put the full name, if it is PLC, if it is limited, and so on and so forth. So you put the name of the company you want to register. Then you put the CAC type, whether it's RC. Now RC is registration number, BN is also registration number, but some people call it registration code. Now RC is for companies, BN is for business names. CAC/IT, the one you see over here, is for NGOs, and any other you click others here. Any other you click others here. But for Nigeria, actually, you only have business name, companies, and NGOs you want to register. Now, after you might have clicked that, you could click RC number, for example. Then you put your RC number here. Now, your RC number is always inscribed on your certificate of registration or incorporation, as the case may be. So all you need to do is look for your RC number and text your RC number there. And once let's assume your RC number is 245678, for example, you could click that. and then your date of company registration. Also on your certificate you see the date of your company registration, so you can put any date. Once you click on it, this dashboard will show, and you click on the date your company was registered. Maybe let's say it was registered in 2021 on the 8th of December 2021. Then of course you put your tax identification number. Now your tax identification number, like I said previously, is gotten at Federal Inland Revenue Service in Nigeria, that's FIRS. So once you have registered your business and want to get your tax identification number, you go there and then you do the major things. Now if you want me to make a video, like I said before, of how to get your tax identification number without even going there, all you need to do is comment on section below. I'll make a video like that. Then of course the company's trade name. Now your company's trade name is the name your company bears. For example, because I've registered as Dangote, you could click on Dangote. You just put Dangote PLC if your company is Dangote. But of course I'm using Dangote as an example. So you can put Dangote PLC. Then once you have done that, then you put your DNFI category. Now under this category actually tells us what your company does for a living. If your company is an audit firm, if it is into cars and vehicles, if they are chartered accountants, if they are clearing and settlement, anything that your company does, you click it there. If it is an NGO, then you click on NPOs, that's non-profit organizations. Now the first time I actually did it, I didn't know they were referring to non-profit organization as NGO, so I just clicked on something that was wrong, so they had to reject my application. So once it is an NGO, you look for NPOs, non-profit organization, and then you click on it, and once you click on it, it will validly go and they will not be able to reject it. Now your BVN, of course you have to put your BVN number there. Then of course you put your company's account number. Now because you are trying to get an account number, so the best thing for you to do is put maybe a director's account number if it's a company, or you put a chairman's account number if it's for NGO. So, or if it is even your personal company, you can put your own account number there. So under this company account number, you put your account number in it. Then you put your bank name, whether you're using Access Bank, and so on and so forth. Then you write a brief description of the business. Now under brief description, you don't need to write lengthy words. You can just say general contract if it is a business. If it's a business, or if it is a company, you can put general contract. Now if it's an NGO, you can put welfare of, whether it's for children or for old people, or if it's even for public education, or if it is for public enlightenment. You write anything. You can just write about 5 or 6 words and you are done. You don't need to write a lengthy word for them. Then you put your head office. Now the head office must correspond with the one in your documents, the one when you were registering your CAC. So you need to check your document to know the head office. You put there. Then of course you put your state. You put the state that the NGO is in. Actually, the particular state the NGO is in. The state must correspond with the one in your registration when you were registering your company. Put your phone number here. Then of course you put your tax ID number, that's your JTB number, that's the same number you collect I was referring to before. So you put them again here, that's your same tax identification number, TIN. So you put them here. Then of course you put the office branch address if they have a branch. If they don't have, you can leave it. Now you will notice that in some of those documents you see some red buttons. Make sure that all those red buttons are filled up. You can afford to not to fill other documents that does not have red buttons, but for those that have red buttons, make sure you fill them up because they are necessary. Once you don't fill them up, your application will be rejected. So for example, branch office, if you don't have a branch office, you can actually leave it. For JTB number, you can actually leave it as well. Now for your website, if you don't have a website, you can also leave it. You don't need to file it. Now for director's name, you have to put a director. So if you're a director of the company, you can put your name in it. If you are not a director but you are a trustee or a chairman of a company, now the director does not necessarily exclude NGOs. So if you are the chairman of an NGO or if you are a trustee of an NGO, you put your name in it. Now if you want to put the names of other directors or other trustees, you can afford to put their names here, but because the red tag is not here, you can also afford to leave it empty. Now I was explaining to you that you make a PDF. Now this is where you upload the PDF. So what you do is you click on it, and once you click on it, it takes you to where the PDF. You take it to where the PDF is, and then you upload the PDF there. So because you are not uploading anything, you leave it there. Now, like I was saying before, the size of PDF must not be more than 2 MB. So if it is more than 2 MB, you try to compress it, and I've shown you how you can compress it. Then of course indicate where you want your certificate. Now this one is very important. So you indicate where you want to pick up your certificate. So if you want to pick it up in Enugu State, in Kano, in Lagos, you indicate where you want to put it. Then of course you put your email address. So if your email address is kinghomecharity@gmail.com, you put it, and then of course you put your password. So once you put your email, you put a new password, because you have not opened an account with them before. So you put a new password, and like I've always said, make sure that your password is up to date, or your NGO, as the case may be. Then of course you put the name of the contact person. Now the name of the contact person must be maybe a trustee or a chairman if it's an NGO, or it might be the name of a director or a shareholder of a company, or it could even be a proprietor if it's a business name. Then you put the name of the person here, then you put their email address, then you put their contact phone number. Now these information are very, very vital. They are very important, because if you do it the way I taught you how to do it, it will be registered for you. And once they register for you, they send you a detail that your application has been registered, that you can now come to their office to verify when to pick up your certificate. But if you don't provide the information here, you will not know whether your information has been verified or not. So make sure that the contact phone number, you cross-check it and be sure that it is the contact phone number. Then of course you make sure you click on this small column here. I read and understood the registration guideline on the home page. Then once you do that, you click on submit. So once you click on submit, it will load for a short while, and then that means you have to wait for it. After it might have loaded, you say successful. After it might have said successful, that doesn't mean that your application has been collected. When it says successful, it means that your registration has gone to them. So you wait for about 2 days or more, or 3 days, highest 4 days. So after that period, they will send a message to your phone whether your application has been successful. So this submit is, first of all, the application has gotten to them. Now the other one they will send you is whether your application is successful or not. Now when your application is successful, then you can now go to any SCUML office. If you are looking for any SCUML, all you need to Google it. If you are in Abuja, it's around Wuse 2. If you are in Lagos, I think it's around Ikoyi, thereabout, or Ikeja. So you go there, and then they tell you when to pick up your certificate. Normally they say within 10 working days, so you can pick up your certificate within 10 working days. Now finally, it is very important for you to note that it is only a trustee if it's an NGO or non-profit organization. Like I said before, an NGO and a non-profit organization are the same thing. So for NGOs and non-profit organization, it must either be the chairman of the NGO or the trustee of the NGO that can go and collect the certificate. Now for companies, it must either be a director or a shareholder or a secretary of the company that can go and collect the certificate. For business name, it could be the proprietor of the company that can go and collect the certificate. Now the reason why they are doing this is before anybody can actually go and collect certificate for the NGO, but it has come to the realization that some people will come disguising as a member of the company and collect certificate. Then thereafter, the real owners of the company will come and apply and check for their certificate, and there will be a lot of issues that the certificate has been given out, that someone has gone to collect it. So in order to cure this and stop all this stealing of certificates, they must give it to the right and true owner. So make sure you are a director, and they will cross-check whether you are a real director, because the details and the document has been sent to their website. So they will cross-check whether you are a real director, and once that is that, they'll give you the certificate and you are good to go. And once you get the certificate, you can take it to your bank and open an account for the NGO or for the company or for the business name, as the case may be. So that's basically how to apply for your SCUML